You can hear me, na? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to address you. Let me be very clear. I want to interact with you, basically. So if you want to, if you have any doubt in between, just raise your hands. We can discuss, we can interact. So I'm not going to deliver any lecture or something like that very formally. So basically, thanks to MIT for inviting and giving me this opportunity to connect with young India. Though by profession, I'm an architect for last 45 years almost, for last 20 to 23 years, I have shifted towards environmental issues, particularly in the context of rivers, that too Pune rivers. How many of you are from Pune? Tell me. So not even 50%. So rest are from not from Pune, from outside. Is there anyone whose hometown has no river or no water body flowing around? Anyone? Yes? You don't have any water body or any river around your town. Oh, only one. So it's very rare, So in short, every town, every civilization has taken place, has evolved around one or the other water body, right? So my basically activity is related to filing legal cases against encroachments on water bodies in Pune, against pollution in the rivers in Pune, in the National Green Tribunal, in High Court in the form of public interest litigations up to Supreme Court. That's my role. Basically, do you know how many rivers are flowing through the city, through Pune? There are 5 rivers. It's a very unique situation. It's a very unique city. There are 5 rivers flowing through Pune: Mula, Mutha, Pavna, Ram Nadi and Dev Nadi. There is hardly any city on this planet through which 5 rivers are flowing. These rivers merge with each other and they flow out as one single river, that is Mula Mutha river. There are so many confluences within the city itself, apart from other small tributaries. Today, I am advised to talk to you on climate change and sustainable development. Honestly speaking, formally, I have not studied environment. So, we will not go into the scientific intricacies of climate change. But I know a bit on sustainable development. So, I'm just going to share my thoughts with you in another 10 minutes time, not more than that. Then I would prefer you to discuss the issues, ask questions, or tell me if I am wrong anywhere. So what is climate change basically? I asked Uncle Brock, so what is climate change? So I was told that climate change is long-term shifts in climate patterns due to human activities that increase greenhouse gas emissions, leading to rise in temperatures, altered precipitation, extreme weather events, and ecosystem disruptions. And we are experiencing it. What is sustainable development? Sustainable development is a process that meets the current needs of people without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So it's quite simple that way. Honestly speaking, it's our generation. I really feel very guilty towards you. It's our generation who is responsible, largely responsible for the climate change. And now we are putting that load on your shoulders of sustainable development. The earth we received from our parents when we were small, when we were of your age, was much, much better than the earth we are handing over to you. I feel guilty. Personally, I feel guilty for that. Basically, fundamentally, human greed, our lifestyle and development policies, which are again based on our greed, are largely responsible for this climate change. Have you seen any animal, maybe, or even a street dog also, or if you have visited any safari or jungle while trekking, have you seen any animal, whether herbivorous or carnivorous, rushing continuously or in a hurry? No. Animals are in hurry only on two occasions, either to save their own life or to kill some other animal for their food. So only twice they are in a hurry. Otherwise, they are always relaxed. They enjoying their life. But we, the humans, are continuously in hurry. Continuously, right? The moment we get up in the morning till we go to sleep, we are always in hurry. Why? Why? It was not so earlier. Go and talk to your parents. It was not so earlier. But we are continuously in hurry these days because we have some tasks to complete. We are living in the world of competition. Okay. Continuously competition. We want to prove that I am superior to someone else. So in a way, I would say, basically, I don't like this kind of competition. Let it be very natural. Let everyone evolve. Everyone has a place in this world. So why to compete with each other? Competition is basically not natural. So if we don't compete, if we just stay relaxed, do your best, no problem, but not to prove that someone else is inferior. Not for that. For your own satisfaction, if you live your life, life will be far more enjoyable. And unfortunately, we have forgotten this. This is not our lifestyle. And that has led us towards all these crises. Climate change is one of the crises. It's actually very high time for us to learn how to live. Coming back to climate change, because of greenhouse gases, air and ocean temperatures are rising, leading to increased evaporation and ability of air to hold more moisture. 1 degree centigrade rise in temperature increases ability of the atmosphere to contain 7% more moisture. So more moisture means more evaporation, of course, more moisture, more rainfall, more floods. It is a cycle that we have accelerated the natural cycle. It's more floods, of cloudbursts, cyclones. And in fact, last decade was the hottest in last 175 years. Under the pretext of development, we have exploited environment in all possible ways. May it be air, may it be soil, may it be water, may it be any damn thing. On one hand, rainfall is rising. We are experiencing more and more floods everywhere in the world. Everywhere in the world, we are experiencing more and more floods. And we are bent upon encroaching upon our water bodies under the name of development. It is happening. I'm just going to give you one example of Pune itself, on which I am working. Here, Pune Municipal Corporation, PMC, has come up with a project that is called as Riverfront Development Project. You must have heard about it. It's around 5,000 crore rupees project. Practically, no public consultation was done for the project. This project is reducing the width of rivers by 40%. Now you tell me, if you reduce the width of any channel through which water is flowing, the water levels will rise or they will go down? Rise. So it's very simple. If you reduce the width, the levels will rise. But our bureaucrats, our politicians, and blue-eyed consultants, they feel, or they are of the opinion that if you reduce the width of any channel, the water levels will recede, they will go down, so the Pune city will be flood free. All scientists I have met, even I tried it at my home also. I created one channel, reduced the width, allowed a particular flow in it. The moment we reduce the width, the water levels will rise. If you reduce the width by half, level will rise twice. So this project is taking the city towards more severe floods, more frequent floods, and they are constructing embankments, concrete embankments right in the riverbed. I will not go into the details of flood lines, blue lines and red lines. Those are little intricate issues. But they are reclaiming the floodplains. They are creating commercial spaces on floodplains where actually there is right of only birds and air to flow. Both sides of the river will be completely concretized and river will be converted into a canal. Not a rupee is being spent in this project for cleaning the river. You must have seen how the rivers are in Pune. It's stinking, literally stinking. If you stand on any bridge, you can't stand there for more than 5-10 minutes. Rivers are really carrying sewage, no water. But not a penny is being spent on cleaning the river. So that is a project we are opposing on all fronts. On social fronts, we are organizing Chipko movements, and we also have filed cases, challenge the environmental clearance. We have met many politicians also. On political vertical also, we are trying to stop this project. But it's a little difficult because the consultant of this project is the same consultant who is who has done Sabarmati riverfront development. Anybody has seen Sabarmati riverfront development? You have seen. Okay. Then this Central Vista, then Banaras Ghat project. So it's a typical, central government's very favorite consultant who has no idea about Pune rivers, but it's going ahead. Fine. We are opposing it. So this is the right time for us to revisit and review our concepts of development. In 1951, I was also not born that time. Rural and urban population of India was 83% and 17%. 83% population was residing in villages and 17% in urban area. By 2021, this percentage has shifted to 65 and 35. More than 1/3 of the population is staying in urban areas now. It has happened mainly because of migration. See, organic growth is on both the sides, but this shift in percentage has happened because of migration. There is huge migration. Continuously, thousands of people are migrating from villages to cities like Pune, Delhi or Mumbai or any other city wherever possible for them. Why it is happening? If you go to any village, even in a developed state like Maharashtra also, roads are bad, there is no drainage system, there are no health facilities, no job opportunities, no education facilities, very poor supply of electricity and water. So the moment the people staying in villages get opportunity to migrate to cities, they migrate to cities. And now villages are, lying vacant. Many properties in villages are lying vacant. In cities, you have all the infrastructure available. Health, whatever I have mentioned earlier. And this is because since last many decades, our development policies are urban-centric. Our development policies are not balanced. There is one project that is proposed by the state government. It is Hyperloop project. Have you heard of it? Hyperloop. It is to connect Pune and Mumbai, two cities which are already well connected by train, by air, by road. Now they are planning one Hyperloop train sort of a thing, traveling through a pipe, and it will reach Mumbai from Pune in 28 minutes. Fine. At least for me, time is not that precious. But you know how much it is going to cost? Its estimated cost is 3 lakh crore rupees. So you are spending 3 lakh crore rupees to connect the two cities which are already well connected. Why don't you spend this amount in rural area, giving them good roads, giving them good job opportunities, providing them excellent infrastructure? 3 lakh crore rupees is not a small amount. But we are not doing so. This is unsustainable development. Any development that, because of its centralization, demographic stresses increase, it is unsustainable development. And that's why our cities are getting crowded. Governments are spending more amount for infrastructure in urban areas. In recent past, there is one more category of migration, that is climate refugees. Because of climate change, because of this weird rain pattern and extreme weather events, small farmers are also migrating to cities. Farming also is not as sustainable as it was earlier. And this has put humongous pressure on urban infrastructure like roads, water supply, solid waste management, water pollution, air pollution, garbage, traffic jams, etc. In a city like Pune, which is called as Oxford of the East, we are treating only 1/3 of the sewage, or even less than that, actually 29% of the sewage that is generated in the city. Rest of the sewage is entirely released in the rivers. It flows down to downstream area, Ujni Dam, and all those rivers are highly polluted. We have some of the most polluted rivers in the country, in Pune. I would say, what is the most researched object in the world? You tell me. What is the most researched object in the world? Simple. What is the most researched object? You have no idea. It's human body. It's very simple. Human body is the most researched object. And even any animal or any city or even a building has similar anatomy like human body. A building has columns and beams, we have bones. They have STPs, we have livers and kidney. There are green areas in cities, we have lungs. They have electrical and data supply, we have nervous system. So human body has very similar anatomy to urban areas. If we are able to translate any problem from urban areas to human body, the solution is already there. It's already provided. And just find out the solution and translate it back to urban problem. You get the solution. I would say that the cities as of now are no more growing. Most of the cities, particularly a city like Pune or Mumbai or any such big city, are no more growing. The cities are becoming obese, or even the growth is, I would say the growth, they are having malignant growth. So any more growth, we need to stop the growth to make the cities sustainable. We need to stop the demographic pressures, demographic stresses that are increasing day by day in the cities to make the cities sustainable. We need healthy cities, not smart cities. वो जो स्मार्ट सिटीज का प्रोग्राम है ना सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का, they should actually convert it into healthy cities. We don't want you would, given a choice, you would prefer to be healthy or to be smart. It's simple. Healthy, of course. So it's a time for us to make all the developments healthy. It's a time for us to make the cities inconvenient, I would say. I'm going to little extreme, but we want now we want inconvenient cities because we want to stop migration. We want to slow down migration. We want to stop the migration and we want to revert the migration. We want convenient villages now. Go to Europe, go to any developed country. Village life is far, far better than urban life. You can get any damn thing, whatever you can get in cities. Many of you might have visited such countries. Village life is absolutely wonderful. So now we need to understand the difference between development and sustainable development. It's a time to change our lifestyle rather, I would say, from consumptive lifestyle towards simple lifestyle. You know, this year, the budget, our total budget was 48 lakh crore rupees. Out of that, Environment Department was allotted 0.0007%, 3,400 crore rupees. Only 0.0007%. Out of that, 70% was for revenue. That is salaries and running their offices and all that. So you imagine how much we are spending, how much we are caring for the environment. This happens from the central government. So basically, we cannot enjoy democracy without responsibility. And unless we, the citizens, do not take the onus of sustainability, sustainable development on our shoulders, the world is not going to be sustainable. We have to start somewhere. So if we don't prepare for the impacts of climate change and adapt to sustainable lifestyle, we would be wiped off from this planet. Humans are the most delicate species on this planet, and if we continue our lifestyle, this planet, Earth, will be a happier planet without humans. I hope that day will not come and we will change our lifestyle. That's what I wanted to share with you. I hope wisdom prevails. Thank you. So, if you have any point to be discussed or any question to be asked, you are most welcome. I have just shared my thoughts with you. Just to begin with.
I think the floor is open for
in
questions.
your court now.
Anyone wish to ask a question to sir?
Yes.
Hello, sir. So I have a question regarding the waste management because I have no seen such as like waste management. Like so, waste like I would like to say in Hindi. So मुझे लगता है कि जो वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट का कोई यहाँ पे इतना ज़्यादा इनिशिएटिव नहीं ले रहा है, तो मुझे लगता है यही वेस्ट जो है, हमें एयर पोल्यूशन हो चाहे वाटर पोल्यूशन हो, इन सब का एक चीज़ वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट है. तो हमें एक ऐसा क्या इनिशिएटिव लेना चाहिए जिससे हम वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट को कम कर सके और किस तरह से कंट्रोल कर सके इस वेस्ट को. थैंक यू सर.
It starts from this, and I am having this. First of all, we should generate minimum waste. We should have such habits of minimum generation of waste. That is one thing. See, waste is, I mean, not 100% avoidable. But we should minimize the generation of waste. Then segregation is very important. I am not an expert as far as solid waste problem is concerned. But segregation at the point of generation is very important, like plastic, glass, metal, hazardous waste. Then this the waste you can put in those plants, bio waste. So segregation of waste is very important. But first of all, we need to change our lifestyle for that. That is very important. But it's a very fundamental issue that you have raised.
Sir, you have talked about 2, 3 aspects. But my point was we need to address this issue quite squarely. I think we need to trace back to our roots. For example, I would take the example of a word modern when it came from Roman Empire. That modern at that time means something new. But with the time aspect, it went like modern was something different. But with time aspect, it came to be known as something new. So the definition of development in terms of India, do we need to have that definition as per the world standards? Because we have different resources, we have different people, we have different traditions. So how do we link this to the environment?
See, basically, you cannot compare two persons with each other. It will not be very rational if we compare two countries with each other. We have the largest population in the world, and that is the most important factor as far as development is to be looked at in our country. And that is why our cities are most problematic cities in the world. We have maximum populous cities. Why? That is because of migration and because of our population. So we cannot come out with a typical model which would be applicable for each and every country or even for each and every city. For each and every city, for each and every area, region, we need to have different models, and that is sustainable urban planning. So in 2020, Maharashtra state government came up with UDCP, or Unified Development Control and Promotion Rules. That is rules applicable for construction all over Maharashtra. Same rules applicable all over Maharashtra. So that is not correct. The development in Nagpur, development in even a district place in Marathwada, and development in Pune city have to be totally different. The requirements are different, the topography is different, the atmosphere, weather, climate is different, but you can't have such a standard approach. We need to have a different approach, rational approach and scientific approach for that.
Sir, regarding the Mula Mutha river project, river abutment is one thing, and the beautification is another thing in any river project. So it is taking place in my city, Nagpur, the Nag river abutment and beautification project. But as you said, when they are lessening the width of the river, are they not deepening the depth of the river?
See, you cannot increase the carrying capacity by deepening the river. Why river flows? Because it has certain gradient, it has some slope. So water flows only because of slope. If you deepen the river at any particular location, then you are reducing that gradient. Okay. So suppose this is the river. It has gradient like this. So water is flowing. If you deepen it here, the gradient will be reduced and water velocity reduces and its carrying capacity comes down, leading to more floods. So deepening is scientifically not possible. Then what can you do below the bridges? There are so many bridges in the city. You cannot deepen the river below the bridge, otherwise the bridges will collapse. So just deepening between two bridges will be, creating stagnant water ponds. So deepening is not a solution. Secondly, you spoke about beautification. Why we need beauty? Rivers were already beautiful. Why they have become ugly? They have become ugly because of our own encroachments, because of our own discharge of sewage, industrial pollutants in the river water. That is the main cause. So we are, basically encroaching upon the rivers, and then we are trying to, see, basically, right in the beginning, I said rivers are the mothers of any civilization. Now you tell me one thing, if our mother is not well, she is seriously ill, and that is why she is not looking good. then you are going to take her to a beauty parlor or to a doctor? Doctor, na? But we are taking our rivers to a beauty parlor. Now you tell me whether it is rational or not.
Hello, sir. Sir, I want to understand this thing you talked about that policymakers they are not and they don't make laws rationally, or they don't understand the subject very properly. So, sir, I want to understand this, that we have NGT, and even though if policymakers are not so rational in their approach, why can't other players can do something in this? And other thing that I want to understand from you, sir, that there are two approaches. First, people sitting in government are talking about satellites to create satellite cities, and you touched upon that topic, that cities are becoming more crowded and unplanned and this sustainable issue. So, what approach, according to you, goes well? Is this satellite city, or the rural development, which at some point will become urban settlements, to focus upon those rural areas, making them with this sense of beauty and all these things?
I hope I remember your question completely. So, firstly, you spoke about NGT, okay? That is National Green Tribunal. Unfortunately, all these tribunals, very unfortunately, all these tribunals are not delivering justice. Let me be very candid. They are also working under tremendous pressure, humongous pressure, whatever it is, and they are not scientifically delivering the justice, giving the orders. That's my own experience. So yes, we are fighting. We are taking the issues to National Green Tribunal, to some issues to High Court also. Depends upon under which particular act you have to file the case. That is point number one. And secondly, when you were talking about development or villages or satellite towns, see, it depends upon that particular city and topography and the land around it. We need to apply both the solutions. We have to, we have to increase the life quality. We have to give all the required facilities in the villages also. That is our responsibility. That is our fundamental responsibility of the government particularly. And we also have to look into possibility of satellite towns. Like New Bombay was a satellite town. Now they are planning of another second New Bombay. We should have taken that approach in case of Pune also, long back. In many other cities, that approach should have been taken. So yes, we need to evolve satellite towns, but that doesn't absolve our government from providing good infrastructure in the villages.
Next question, please. Anyone from the audience?
All are waiting to go for lunch, I suppose. No problem. It's time for that.
Good afternoon, sir. Everywhere we talk about like we have that concerns and this concerns, all about environmental and everything. So don't we have a legally bonded any global mechanism who will be looking after it? I mean that power agency or community which looks after this sort of things. We can take legally action and which are bounded by the government.
Legal.
Yeah.
See, every country has its own constitution. So the legal systems are independent in every country. Okay, there are, I think, only 3 countries in the world that are having a system of green courts. We are one of them. How useful it is, that's a different issue altogether. Secondly, it should start from the citizens. It should start from us. Legal systems should be there, they are in place, laws are in place, but you have to prove everything in black and white before the court, which sometimes becomes impossible. Sometimes, see, particularly in environmental issues, we are fighting against governments. We are fighting against very big giants who are encroaching upon the environment, who are cutting. That day some 400 acres in Hyderabad was raised. It was done by the government. What can you do? If the government itself breaks the laws, what can you do? I mean, sometimes, I feel like being helpless. I visit courts day in, day out. I have personally argued my matters in the court. But when you go through the orders, when you go through the questions the judges raise, you feel helpless that इनको कभी-कभी समझता ही नहीं है कुछ. They are somehow not really interested in environmental protection. I can't, share all my experiences over here, but the situation is miserable.
I can understand from that statement only that narrowing down the rivers and the rise will go down. Like this sort of things, I can make a 5-year or 10-year child can understand that it will rise, and we have to scientifically, prove to the government like this sort of
Yeah.
things will happen.
Yeah, the court has believed it. Court has supported this argument that in spite of reducing the width of the river by 40%, the flood levels will go down. We have challenged the environmental clearance given to this project. Says this project is so flawed. Actual flood values, I mean the possible floods, they have taken into account about 1/2 or 1/3 of actual floods. I mean, actual flood values will be double or triple of what they have considered in their project. They have given reducing the flood levels as their topmost objective, but in corner of their DPR, the consultant has stated that this is not a flood control project and we shall not be responsible if the flood levels do not come down. That's what the consultant has mentioned. And in spite of that, the corporation has cleared it. The general body meeting of the corporation, at that time, corporators were there. Since last more than 3 years, there are no corporators in PMC. In which this project was cleared, this riverfront development project was cleared by the general body. The DPR containing 2,500 pages and some 50-60 drawings was given in the form of a CD, that too in English, to all corporators at 11 o'clock in the night, earlier night. क्या corporators debate करेंगे उसके ऊपर? They don't understand English. They don't understand, they can't read the drawings. They were given, even if suppose they could understand English, 2,500 pages to read 2,500 pages in just one night and debate on such a project next day morning in the general body. Is it a joke? But yes, we have made it a joke. There are so many issues actually. We need to rise. We should come out of our lethargy. It's high time now.